Hello guys, welcome back to peacarma stitches. Today we're going to be making these beautiful jumpsuits with back zipper, pockets, and a ruched sleeve. Okay, this is a wide leg jumpsuit, okay, for both plus size and for a slim person. Can you see how wide the legs are? A beautiful ruched sleeve and pockets. So if you're interested in this tutorial, guys, kindly watch to the end, subscribe. God bless you. Let's get right into it. So I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into two. This is the front piece, and since the jumpsuit is going to have a zipper, now this one that is longer is the back piece. So the back piece is longer by 1.5 inches, okay, since we're going to be attaching a zipper. So what we'll go ahead to do is from the upper part, the front is folded in two, the back is also folded in two. So from the upper part here, we're going to be marking down 1 inch, okay, for our starting line. And so we're going to connect this 1 inch line mark into a straight line. Okay, go ahead and connect this into a straight line. Now when we're done with that, we're going to be taking our neck measurement. Remember, all our measurements are starting from this front line. Okay, do not start from here, from the center front line. Now for my neck width, I'm going to be working with 3.75. So I've gone ahead to mark that. And at the edge here, okay, what determine my fold is my hip divided by 4 plus 4 inches. Okay, so that's what you're going to use to fold yours. Remember, there's going to be an elastic casing here, okay, an elastic at the waist. So you want that ruche effect, you add 3 to 4 inches, but I use 4 inches. Okay, so from this 1 inch slanted line, we're going to come down by 1 inch again, and then I'll connect from my neck width to that line. So connect it in a slanted manner to meet the 1 inch mark we came down by. Okay, so let me make this clearer for us. So can you see what we have there? So for the back neckline, I'm going to be making it 1 inch, and for my front neckline, I'm going to be making it 7 inches. Okay, it's totally optional, it depends on the neckline you want. So I'm going to be connecting the back neckline into the zipper allowance, and then for the front, the style inspiration is a V neckline, okay, but I want to make mine a bit curvy. Can you see how I curved my hand? I just wanted to freestyle. Okay, you can make yours straight if you wish. Okay, so mine is 7 inches, so you can work with whatever neckline you want. Now from this 1 inch line we came down by, we're going to be marking our sleeve opening. So for me, I'm going to be doing 10.5. You can do 10. For a slimmer person, do 9 inches. For a plus size like myself, I'm doing 10 and a half. Okay, so I'm going to connect that 10.5 inwards. Okay, I'm connecting the 10.5 into a straight line. So now for my initial shoulder line, I'm going to be marking to my waist point. Okay, my waist is 18 inches. I'm going to be adding half inch, okay, for joining, to join it to the lower part. Okay, so I'm marking it again at this point. So go ahead and connect your lines. Okay, connecting this into a straight line. Can you see what we have there? So what we'll go ahead to do is this, at this sleeve opening line, okay, we're going to be marking a hip measurement, okay, divided by 4 plus 3 to 4 inches, depending on how gathered the fullness you want. You can do maximum 5 inches, but for a slim person, do 3 inches. For a plus size like myself, I'm going to be using 4 inches. Okay, so at this sleeve opening line, I'm going to be marking my hip measurements divided by 4, which is 11.5 for me. Okay, then I'll add 4 inches to that. And whatever I have here 15.75. I'm going to bring it to the hem of my fabric to mark the same thing, 15.75, and I'll connect the lines together. So connect it from your sleeve opening line to your waistline, okay? Now at this point, we're going to curve it. Please watch what I'm doing. Curve it this way because we don't want these parts to be pointy. Can you see what I'm doing? You're going to curve it. So let me see what I have at this point. Okay, I have 1 inch. So you can come in by 1 inch and connect this in a curved manner, okay? And that's it. We're done. So to avoid zipper bulging at this waistline, what I have here is 1.5. So I'm going to come inwards by half of an inch. Okay, I went in by half of an inch, or let me do 1 inch. Okay, I came in by 1 inch and I'm going to connect it in a slanted manner to the top part. Okay, and then we go ahead to cut this out. So please, if you watched up to this point and you got lights, please kindly do so. Okay, kindly like. Okay, so you cut. So unfold here from this folded part, okay? What I have here is 20.5 inches, okay? That's what I have here. So if you don't want yours to be this long, you can reduce it, okay? That's for the front. But with the zipper allowance, I have 22.2 inches, okay? So if you don't want yours, that's what also determined my fold. If you don't want yours to be that long, you can reduce it. So we're going ahead to cut the back neckline. Now remember to add 1 inch at this top part for the ruching of the sleeve, okay? We'll still cut it in a slanted manner. Watch the way I'm cutting it. Okay, so that we'll have space for our ruching, okay? Can you see what we have here? Okay, and we're done with that. We'll go ahead and cut out the front neckline. So this is what we have for both front and back. I'll go ahead and open up the zipper allowance part. Okay, so this is what we have. Can you see this? So we're going to go ahead now and I'm going to cut out the facing for both front and back. So before I go ahead to cut out the facing, I'm going to cut out the lower parts first so I know the fabric I have left, okay? Just to be on the safe side. Okay, so what will determine your fold is your waist. The waist we have at the upper part plus 3 inches for the front, plus 3 to 4 inches for the front, depending on your crotch extension. So remember our waist for the front, we added 4 inches to our normal waist, and then we had 15.75. So I folded by that, and then I added 3.5 inches to this, okay? So what we're going to be doing now is to bring in the front, the upper part, okay? So these are upper piece. We're going to align it. This is the front. So we're going to take out the front piece, okay? Align the waists. Align the waist. You can lay it on top of each other by half of an inch, okay? Make sure it's well aligned. Then you mark where it stops, okay? So this is where it stops. So we're going to pick this out. Now while we're doing this, why we did this is to make sure the upper part and the lower part aligns. Now since we're going to be joining this crouch part by half of an inch so it doesn't get shortened, we're going to add that half inch back. I hope you understand. So I'm adding back the half of an inch. So I'm going to mark half inch from the top part here. This half inch is going to serve as our joining for the upper parts to the lower parts. Please, I hope you understand these explanations. Now I would have just marked the normal top length, okay, but after joining our crotch, since there's no joining at the upper part, it will be shortened. That's why I added back half of an inch. Do you understand? For the joining of the crotch. So we're not working with this first line, we're working with this half inch line, okay. So we're now going to be using our hip measurement. It's a free part. So from the half inch mark here, we're going to be marking to your crotch point. Now what will determine your crotch is your hip circumference divided by 4. For a jumpsuit, you can add 3.5 inch, okay. Now for a plus size, because of your tummy, I advise you do 3.5. For a slim person, add 2.5 inches, okay. So if I add, my hip round is 46 divided by 4 is 11.5. Now if I add 3.5 inch to that, that'll be I'll go ahead to open up the center point, okay. Go ahead and cut it open. Okay, I'm just cutting out like quarter of an inch, okay, at this part. You can just slit it open, okay. So from this point, I just choose to slit it open. Please, you can slit it open if you choose to, okay. I just wanted to reduce the fullness a little bit, okay. So I'll go ahead and fold for us to cut out. So I've gone ahead to fold my Ankara into 2 for our back piece, and it is wider, okay, than the front piece. So I'll go ahead to pin this in place, okay. Make sure everything is well aligned, okay. I'm just aligning everything. Ensure the lower parts as well is well aligned, okay. Okay, so this, guys, after folding everything into nicely, make sure this part is well aligned, okay. Now we're going to be extending our crotch, okay. So your crotch extension, you're going to place exactly what you had for your front extension, replace it at the back. So for the front, I had 2.8, okay. Now from this edge, okay, where the front stops, can you see what I have here? Okay, from where the front crotch stops, okay, I'm going to extend it by that same measurement, okay, and then extend the crotch line into a straight line, okay. Whatever you extended your front crotch extension by, put the same thing at the back. That's just it. Now you're going to come upwards, or from the top part here, from your half inch mark to where your hip point is supposed to be. For me, it's 9 inches. At that point, I'm going to come inwards from the front crotch, mark 1.5, and then I'll connect. Can you see closely what I'm doing? Mark from your half inch, mark down where your hip measurement is supposed to be. We're not making use of it, but to guide us, okay. And then when you mark it from this your front crotch extension, okay, go out by 1.5 inch and then connect it, align it to the waistline, and then connect to the 1.5 inch mark. From the 1.5 inch mark, connect to align with the front crotch and then all the way to the back. Please, if you don't understand, watch it again. Go out by 1.5 and connect this way to meet the front crotch, then curve it out. Okay, so at this inner point, I'm going to be making use of 1 inch. Okay, you can make use of 1.5. Okay, let's make use of 1.5 inches. I'm going to be marking this 1.5 inches all the way to the lower part. This is going to be for our inner seam. Okay, now connect it all the way to the hemline. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do, there is going to be a zipper at this point. Remember, we added zipper allowance at the back part, so I'm going to be marking 1 inch. Whatever zipper allowance you had left, mark the same thing. What I had left was 1 inch. Follow the line you drew. Okay, now from my half inch mark, I'm going to be marking downwards 8 inches. Okay, that's how long I want the zipper to be. Okay, so it terminates at that point. Okay, and that's all for the back. Please, if there's any part you do not understand, kindly rewatch. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut this out. Please like if you haven't, share. Okay, God bless you, and subscribe for more interesting tutorials. Okay, now I'm thinking of doing a corset for a plus size, a freehand corset top. So if you'll be interested in that tutorial, kindly let me know in the comment section. Okay, so I can drop that tutorial. So we'll open up. Go ahead and open up the back. Make sure the back is well aligned with the front. Okay, open it up. Okay, this is what we have. I'll go ahead now to cut out. Now watch closely how I cut out this part. This is where my zip will end. Okay, I'll cut out the zipper part, then I'll go ahead to continue my crouch for the back. So can you see what we have here? I'm going to trim this part out a bit. It's too pointy. Okay, so this is where my zipper is going to stop. Can you see what we have? This is the lower part, our extension and all, and we've done facing first. Okay, before we cut out our front facing. So I'm going to place this, make sure that the center part is well aligned. Okay, make sure this center is well aligned, very important. Okay, and then I'm going to pin this down so it doesn't move around. Okay, good. So after pinning it down, I'm going to trace following the neck. Okay, and that's it. Now when we're done with that, I'm going to turn it this way so you guys can see what we have here. Okay, can you see what we have? So the length at the shoulder parts here, this is the shoulder. I want this to be 3.5 inches. Okay, so I'm going to mark that 3.5 inch round. Now, if your fabric is not enough, you can connect it to whichever point you want it to stop, okay? So this is what I have for mine. But at this other part, I don't have up to 3 inches. I'm practically trying to manage, so I have 2.5. It's just perfect, okay? So this is what the back facing looks like. Let me bring it to the right side. Can you see this? So when you place it like this, everything aligns perfectly. Now for our front facing, okay, I have this fabric folded into two. The front facing won't be opened, it will be on fold since the front is on fold, okay. I'm going to put my fabric on fold this way, and then I'll place the front facing on it. Also ensure that this center part aligns, okay, most importantly, that it aligns perfectly. I'm also going to pin this down, okay, pin it down so it doesn't move around, and then I'll go ahead and trace the exact same shape, okay. So after tracing this out, we'll turn it to the wrong side. Can you see what we have here? Okay, now I want this inner part to be longer, okay. So from my V neckline, what I have here is 4 inches, okay. Now at the shoulder point, remember we marked 3.5 inch, okay. For the back, I'm going to mark the same 3.5 inch round for accuracy. Or any other method you use to achieve yours, just go ahead and cut out your facing. Now, and after marking this, I'm just going to connect it to meet this 4-inch mark, okay. Do you see what I have there? And then you go ahead and cut this out. Please lift only the facing, okay. Beautiful. And we're done with our facing, so I'm going to bring it to the front part so you can see what we have here. Can you see what we have for our front facing? Okay, so we're going to put this together. We're going to go ahead now and put our fabrics together, okay. So these are our neckline. So what we're going to be doing now is to join. So what we'll be doing now is to join our facing, right sides facing each other. You can choose to add stay to yours, okay, but I didn't want to do that. So join this, right sides facing each other. So you're going to join it with 1/2 inch, that's for the front. And then for the back piece, you're going to also do the same thing. Bring in your facing, open it up at the center. So what you're going to do is this straight part is the zipper allowance part, okay. So you're going to place this way, right sides facing each other, okay, right sides facing. You're going to join by 1/2 inch. I want to join the shoulders. I wanted to show us what I've been able to achieve so far, okay. So I've gone ahead to sew down the neckline. I top stitched and I ironed it out. Now for this part, you can go ahead to fold it into two, okay, but I'm going to be weaving, I'm going to be serging it, okay. That's why I didn't do that. And I've gone ahead to do same for the back piece, okay. So what you're going to do now is to place them right sides facing each other, okay. Place them accurately, right sides facing each other. And what you're going to be doing is this: you're going to join, you're going to fold this separately, fold it in, okay, fold this other part in before you join the shoulders. I hope you understand, so that we can have that opening where we pass in our drawstring. I hope this is clear. So fold the sleeve edge separately, okay? Fold them separately, then put them together and join by 1 inch. You will do same for this other part, okay? So for our drawstring, I have this long fabric here. Let me confirm the length for us. Okay, the length here is by 44 inches. Okay, and the width here I have 1.5 inches. Okay, so what you're going to do is you fold in quarter of an inch, quarter of an inch on both sides, and then you put it together. I hope you understand, so that we don't have a rough edge here. So quarter of an inch, quarter of an inch, and then you put it together and you stitch it down neatly at the edge. You're going to cut out 4 pieces of this, okay? 2 for each sleeve, 2 for each sleeve. So I'm going to join the shoulders, okay? And then I'll prepare our sleeves. So guys, I'm done with joining our shoulders. Okay, can you see what we have here? And I've gone ahead to hem the sleeve separately. Then after hemming them separately, I join them together. Okay, after hemming separately, I join them together at this point. Okay, so what we're going to do to create our drawstring casing, you go to your ironing board and iron this 1 inch seam open. Remember, I asked us to leave 1 inch seam open. After ironing, fold in half of an inch and iron, or you sew, okay, on both sides. That's what you're going to do, and you sew down to the edge here, okay, to the end of your fabric. Can you see? So iron it down, fold in half inch on each side, okay, and sew at the edge here, okay, and then this opening that is going to be left is where we're going to be passing in our drawstring. Okay, do for both sides. Okay, we're going to be doing that for the both sides. Then this is our drawstring rope. I've gone ahead to prepare this, and this is 44 inches long. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I have 4 pieces of this. Okay, so what you'll do first, iron this out, fold in half inch at this point, half of an inch at this point, fold it in neatly. Sorry, so that's why I recommend you can go ahead and use your iron. Can you see what I'm doing? So that's how you're going to create it till you get to the. So guys, I've gone ahead to prepare my casing. Can you see what we have here for the both sleeves? And we have the openings here. Okay, so I'm going to use one sleeve as a sample to show us what you do. Okay, so bring in your safety pin. Okay, bring in your already prepared string. You put it at the tip here. Okay, and then you put it into one of the openings here and you pass it all the way. Ensure, that's why I asked us to leave 1 inch. Okay, ensure the opening you left is enough for your the size of your drawstring or your pin. Okay, so push it in. Can you see the effect you already have here? Continue pulling until you bring it out at this other part. Can you see? So when you bring it out, you top stitch at this shoulder part neatly. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do same for the other parts, and then I'll join the sides. Okay, I'll align the sides and shape it. Okay, and shape it down. What we have so far, I wanted to show us something real quick. Can you see? Okay, these are shoulder parts and these are rope. So can you see how folded the side is? It's not straight. Okay, so I wanted to show us how to get that relaxed effect. You will turn your fabric to the wrong side. Now this cuffed part here, okay, I want to show us a simple trick. Kindly notch, okay, notch. Don't cut through, but cut close to your seam, okay, and you notch it. You're going to do same to this other piece. I wanted to show us this, okay, notch. Make the same notch at the cuffed parts. Now when you flip this over, okay, even without ironing it, can you see what we have? It's automatically relaxed. Can you see this? It's relaxed. So that's the secret to having that effect. I wanted to show us that. So in case you join yours and you get that effect, after joining, kindly notch those parts out, okay? And when you notch it, you'll see it relax perfectly. So we're done with the upper parts. I've gone ahead to join the sides. So this is the lower part of our pants. Can you see? I've gone ahead to join with 1/2 inch. This is for the front piece, okay? Can you see what we have here? And this is our back piece, okay? I've gone ahead to join this as well. So what we're going to be doing is this. You're going to bring everything together, all right? So I'm going to bring the front piece, get the midpoint. This is the midpoint of my front piece. Align it to the center of this my crouch joining. Then I'll join it to one side, okay? Join this to this other side as well. Can you see this? And then for the back piece, I'm going to do same, okay? Align them. This is my zipper part, okay? The joined part is my zipper part. I didn't join it all through. So right sides facing each other. I'm going to join. I hope you understand. Just join from one edge to the other edge, okay? Ensure everything is well aligned. Join it around the waist so it becomes one straight piece. Join it with 1/2 inch. I'm going to join everything. Make sure the side seam aligns, okay? I'll join it together, and then after joining, I'm going to shape the sides with 1 inch. Can you see what we have? Okay, can you see this whiteness? It's going to give us much gather effect, and ensure the joining aligns, okay? And this is our pocket, okay? Can you see? Although it's small, but I just wanted to have pockets. Most of my jumpsuits are without pockets. So can you see what we have at the lower part? I've gone ahead to join the crouch, so make sure these lines align, okay? I've joined it, but I've not hemmed the lower part just yet. So we're going to go ahead now and fixing our casing. Let me also show us the back. Okay, this is the back. Can you see what we have at the back as well? I've gone ahead to join it. Okay, ensure your zipper line also matches up. Okay, and this is what we have. So what we're going to go ahead to do now is to measure around our waist for us to cut out what we need for the elastic casing. This opened edge from your zipper point, you're going to measure round, okay? So from one edge, from one waistline, I'm going to measure round, okay? Take your time while doing this, okay? Measure from one waistline to the other parts. Measure round, okay? We're going to measure round till we get back to the other zipper opening, okay? So this is 60, and from this point what I have here is 2 inches. So altogether around my waist I have 62 inches. Meanwhile, my actual waist is 39 inches. So you can see that we have enough room for, we're going to have more fullness. Okay, so we have 62 inches. Fold my Ankara into 4. Okay, I'm going to make sure this upper part is well aligned. Okay, and then I've gone ahead to mark 2.5 inches. Okay, the width of my band is going to be 2.5 inches, half an inch for joining on both sides. Okay, and then the actual waistband is going to be 2 inches. Remember, elastic band is 1 inch, so whatever space you're keeping, you should have enough space for the elastic band to pass through freely. Okay, so I'll cut this out. I'm going to place this to cut another one. Remember, I had 62 inches round. It's always better to have excess, okay, than to have less. So this is what we have left out of our 6 yards of fabric. Okay, so for a plus size, I'll advise you use 5 inches depending on the fullness you want. Okay, so what we're going to do next is to go ahead and join this. You can decide to add stay if you want it to have some structure, but I won't be doing that. So join these right sides facing each other. I'm going to join this with half of an inch. Then go to your ironing table. Iron in half an inch on this part, or quarter of an inch. Iron in quarter of an inch on this part. Okay, iron in on both parts. Then I'll show us what next to this. I've gone ahead to give this a good press. Okay, I've pressed this down a bit. Can you see what we have here? Okay, so this is our back piece. I've gone ahead to hem the fabric. Okay, these are long strip. I folded in quarter of an inch on both sides. Can you see what we have here? Okay, so after folding, what I have left now is 1.2 inches. Okay, which is more than enough for my elastic band. So how we're going to attach this is this is the waistline. Okay, there are 2 ways to go about attaching this. Let me bring this up close. It's either you place it on the waistline, place it above the waistline, top stitch on both sides, or what you can do is this: on the waistline you open up this quarter of an inch, follow the ironing line, okay, and stitch right on the waistline. Follow this line, stitch all the way around to the other part. When you're done, you flip it to the top part, okay, and stitch on this other side. Okay, top stitch on top, okay, for it to be this way. So any method you want to use, you can place it from the waistline, stitch on this side, stitch on this side. Whichever method you want to use is absolutely fine. So when I get to my sewing machine, I'll decide. Okay, I may decide to place it and stop stitch on both sides, or open up this seam, press it, sew it down on one part, then flip it over to sew on this other side. Gone ahead to attach this. Can you see this? Attach it neatly. I decided to top stitch. Okay, I top stitched neatly on both sides, round back to this back piece. So look at the excess I have here. So like I always say, it's better to have excess than to have shortage. So I'll just go out and go ahead and trim off this excess fabric that I have here. Okay, now can you see what we have? Okay, this is what we have now. Now for this neckline to relax, you can go ahead and place hemming gum under. Okay, I'm going to be placing my hemming gum later before going ahead to weave it. So we'll go ahead now and attach our elastic to this beautiful piece. Okay, so my waist measurement, my waist round is 39. 39, I'm going to be minusing 4 inches. Okay, you can deduct 4 inches or 6 or 3 inches. Okay, another method you can use is to put this elastic round your waist. Okay, put it round your waist and you determine how fitted you want it, and then you can go ahead to cut it out. Okay, put it round your waist and then cut it out, or you measure your waist measurement and you deduct 5 inches from that. Okay, so I've decided to use this method. Then I'm going to use my safety pin. Okay, so after cutting it out, guys, either of the two methods, you minus 6 inches from your waist round, or you put it round your waist and you cut out what you need. So when you're done, put in your pin, your safety pin this way, and pass it through. So you go ahead and pick one opened part and pass in your elastic casing. Okay, push it in all the way, pass it in. As you push it in, you keep adjusting. Now, if your casing was just right for it, it will pass in smoothly. Okay, as you keep passing, make sure you're watching this other edge so it doesn't get inside your fabric. Okay, so keep passing it all the way around it. As you pass it, you adjust. Okay, so pass it in, you keep adjusting. You continue doing this. Continue. As you pass, you adjust it. As you pass it round, you control it with your hand. Okay, ensure as you pass it round, you're securing it with your hand. Okay, so the whole elastic doesn't fall in. Keep passing. Keep passing it. Putting everything in. Okay, so what we're going to do next is this. You're going to adjust it and keep adjusting your elastic. Make everything lay well, well arranged, well aligned. Okay, aligned properly. Okay, make sure every path is well aligned, that it goes round accurately. And when you're done, I've decided to use my orange zipper. Okay, so make sure you pin this down so it doesn't fall into the fabric. I'm going to tack this down and then arrange everything in perfectly. I'll fix in my zipper at the back piece and then I'll show it. Welcome back, guys. We are done with our beautiful jumpsuit. Okay. Okay, so after tacking your elastic on each side, sorry, not together, on each side, okay, you fix in your zipper neatly. Okay, can you see what we have here? These are beautiful ruche sleeve. Okay, you can ruche it as much as you want to. Okay, this is the waist. Can you see the elastic? Okay, and this is the lower part. Can you see how wide it is? So this fullness totally depends on what you want, and I've gone ahead to hem the lower part. Okay, and this is the front. Okay, this is the front. Look at the waist as well, and the lower part. So thank you so much guys for stopping by for today's tutorial. I really appreciate. Till I see you guys in our next tutorial. I said I'm thinking of making a corset freehand top. So if you'll be interested in that tutorial, kindly let me know in the comment section. Till I see you guys next time. Bye bye. Thank